My name is David Clary. I am the CEO and owner of F.I.T.T, which is a fitness business within the DMV area. This business was started to bring a sense of strength for every person anywhere, but specifically to this Ward 8 area of DC, which is where my wife and I live. Living here throughout the pandemic, noticing that there needs to be a lifestyle change with all the residents in this area, from being one of the highest obesity rates in DC to just having one of the lowest health levels in DC. We need to make that change, and I'm here for it. So here comes the Health Code. Health Code is a healthy lifestyle program meant to provide you all with the necessary information to improve your general health. So the Health Code, just like it states, has codes. The codes are 3 specific codes to a healthy life. The first one is the Activity Code. And within the Activity Code, we'll be reviewing the strength, endurance, and stretching components that are very essential to your overall activity routine. The other code will be nutrition. Along with that, going deeper into that at least, we'll be discussing macronutrients, micronutrients, and learning how to meal prep, all essential basics of learning how to be a part of the nutritional code and understanding what it is for you. Finally, the last code is rejuvenation. And so rejuvenation, just like it states, we're trying to rejuvenate ourselves mentally along with physically. Activity, you have a duty to your body to improve its strength. Strength encompasses everything from your balance to literally how strong you are dealing with, whether it's working out, lifting heavy weight, or picking up the groceries, as we are currently at the Good Foods Market, picking up those groceries and taking it, walking it back to your apartment or your home. All that requires a level of strength. And so you have to make sure that you are improving that as you age throughout your years. Outside of here, you have endurance. Just like what we mentioned, the other component of the activity code, endurance is focused on your body's ability to maintain its heart rate, along with the cardiovascular mobility of your blood moving through your body. And finally, stretching. Something that we should be doing on a daily basis. One way or another, you're stretching, whether that means you're waking up in the morning and you are getting that initial morning stretch to where you've been sitting down for a long period of time and you need to, recorrect your posture. Everybody needs a level of stretching in their life. And we're gonna talk on that just a little bit today as well. But just before we move on, just by looking at the picture, you can see that this woman is performing an activity with her cohort or her group of friends or group workout individuals. In relation to strength, she could be doing a strength workout. She could be performing through her body weight. In this case, looks like she's doing squats. She could be doing body weight squats. And to her, if she is a beginner level person when it comes to activity, this could be strength for her. She might be doing a small amount of reps, or even the amount of reps that she's doing might be strenuous enough to perform or to tax the muscles to make them stronger if she's beginning a workout routine. But on the vice versa, she might be an advanced level person when it comes to working out. And so if these are squats, she could be getting started with her workout routine right now. This could be considered her warm-up. And if she is at an intermediate or advanced level of fitness, this is considered to be her endurance activity. And so just by looking at this, you can technically perform a strength and endurance workout based on just your body weight. Obviously, when it comes to strength, you can add more load, whether that's your resistance bands to dumbbells, to kettlebells, adding that extra component of resistance will add on to your strength component. The immediate strength is your body weight or gravity pushing your body weight down to the floor. But then you have endurance. Endurance is typically pure body weight. And so when you are performing an endurance-based activity, you should allow yourself to you should make sure that your body is not overdoing it, right? And you will know that when your body is not overdoing it throughout the activity. And of course, stretching should be a pre and post activity to prepare your body for whatever performance is coming. The F.I.T.T principle is how most people should prepare their workout routines. If you're just getting started with an activity and you have no idea of how to get it started, refer to the F.I.T.T principle. F.I.T.T stands for frequency. So you can imagine the frequency of how long you are working out, the amount of times you're doing it throughout the week, or even how many times you do it during the day. The intensity, or how hard the exercise is. Can you talk during the workout? Can you not talk during the workout? All of those are ways that you want to think about your overall intensity. The time of the workout, nothing much else to say. Obviously, the time is how long that workout is taking you to complete. And then the type. Now, I've already given you all 3 types of activity exercises, which would be a strength workout, an endurance workout, or a stretching workout. That's obviously up to you to determine how you want to improve or how you want to approach your F.I.T.T principle, whether that's through the strength, the endurance, or the stretching type of activity. Let's go a little bit deeper into what the frequency and time would look like. 30 to 60 minutes is the ideal time to work out, whether that's your strength or your endurance workout. Anything less than 30 minutes, it should be an intense workout. If you aren't working, if your intensity isn't high enough, then that doesn't qualify as a workout in relation to the American College of Sports Medicine. If it's over 60 minutes, that's good, but once again, your body needs to rest, all right? So you don't need to overdo it with a long duration activity, obviously, unless you've been training your body to perform that, whether you are a marathon runner, a ultra marathon runner that's doing multiple activities within the event. Almost messed up right there, but let's see here. 2 to 3 times a week is ideal for a strength workout, all right? And same here. For your cardio routine, you're looking for about 3 to 5 times a week. Just like what we talked about, your endurance activity is considered to be your cardio routine. Thinking about swimming, walking, jogging, all right? But make sure that as you are beginning your general health, all right, and you're beginning your own personal routine with the actual frequency, the frequency of the workout, you want to make sure that you're at least having 2 to 3 times a week of a strength workout and 3 to 5 times a week of endurance activity, all right? And finally, you should be stretching every day. The frequency of stretching is something that we do on an automatic basis when you wake up in the morning and you are, once again, trying to release that tension from sleeping all day to sitting at your desk or looking at the computer. Even if you're playing games or reading a book, you want to make sure that your posture is in the right order. So stretching every single day, but that's the subconscious. You need to make sure that even before you go out to your job, even if that means that you are a desk worker, you're still stretching because you need to improve that blood flow to allow your body to perform correctly. And honestly, stretching is more than just the performance side of things. It's also going to help, other than physically, it's going to help out mentally as well. It's just like I mentioned, when your body is tight, you're going to reduce your body's blood flow and your body's ability to move throughout to mentally function throughout the day. And so stretching is going to allow your blood flow to improve as you are going through the daily routine. So we just talked about frequency. We just talked about the type of exercises, which are your strength, your endurance, stretching. We also just talked about the frequency and the time of the exercises. The frequency meaning you want to make sure that you're at 30 to 60 minutes, or time 30 to 60 minutes, and the frequency 2 to 3 times for strength and 3 to 5 times a week for endurance. But let's talk a little bit about the intensity of a routine. And one way that I tell everybody, including especially my clientele, is to look at or to evaluate your own exertion level without even looking at a number scale or your Apple Watch's heart rate monitor. Just like what I briefly discussed, start talking. If you can hold a conversation while you are doing your workout, whether it's the warm up or in the middle of the workout, and it's hard for you to conversate, then that means you're working pretty hard, all right? Or that means that your body is working at a level that it should be working at when it is concentrating on activity. If you are able to actually talk and have a whole conversation without losing your breath while you are still doing your activity, then it's time to increase that intensity. Now, if the conversational piece is not a thing while you're doing your workout, you can look at it still on a number scale, not necessarily calculating anything, but one specific scale is called the 6 to 20 point scale. This allows you to have a subjective view on how intense the workout is. And if you can just imagine 6 being the lowest, 20 being the highest, 11 would be light work, 15 would be hard work, and 20 would be your max effort, all right? If you could just imagine also how your heart rate is. Typically, your resting heart rate is between 60 to 80 beats per minute. So if you were to just evaluate that, put a 0 on that 6 to 20 point scale, that would be 60 to 200. At 60 beats per minute to about 80 beats per minute, you should be at a light level of activity. Once again, this is you determining how intense the workout is. You're not looking at anything except for your subjective view on how intense it is. Another way, the easiest way really is the 1 to 10 point scale. And that's what most people can rationalize their own intensity. Obviously 10 being max effort, 1 being easy. You can judge based off of that activity. Another way is looking at your heart rate monitor or calculating your own target heart rate. Before you do that, you need to determine what your maximum heart rate is. And that is 220 minus your personal age. So whatever that is, you do not want to work your heart rate any higher than that, ever. It doesn't matter where you are in your activity routine. If you are over that specific beats per minute, then you need to begin to tone it down. I'm 32, so that means my heart rate needs to be no higher, absolutely no higher than 188 beats per minute. All right, and so once again, go ahead and calculate on your own what that would be for your personal age. And so when it comes to your strength workout routine, you want to make sure that you are having you are working within 55 to 85% of that maximum heart rate for at least 30 minutes, okay? 55 to 85% of your maximum heart rate for at least 30 minutes or more, all right? And that's for your strength workouts. And along with that, your endurance, you want to be within 55 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. So once again, if you wanted to determine what that might be, you would get your maximum heart rate, 220 minus your personal age, and then multiply that times 0.5 or times 0.55 or 0.6, however you want to evaluate that. And that is your range, how far you should go. There's multiple other ways to approach your heart rate range. This is the easiest and least convoluted way of calculating it. You can always go online to go a lot more deeper into the specifics of gathering your heart rate, but this way is the easiest way if you don't want to do a whole bunch of calculations. So before we get into the nutrition code, I want everybody who is here and virtually to just take a little mini break. If you have to go to the bathroom, this is the time for that. Or we're gonna, if you don't need to go to the bathroom, we're just gonna get some stretches in, all right? Because once again, if you've been looking at your computer, or if you've been looking specifically at me, or if you have been looking or if you've just been sitting all day, you need to get up and move your body. All right. So that's what we're going to do just for about a minute. You can follow me staying in the seated position actually to start off. We're going to stretch out our neck. So I first want you to roll your shoulders back, bring your posture up, bring the right hand to your left ear and pull that to your right shoulder. Breathe into this position. Big breath in the nose, out the mouth, allowing yourself to sink into that stretch. Go ahead and switch it to the other side. Once again, slowly inhale, slowly exhale, sink deeper into that position. Gonna relax that, shrug the shoulders up to your ears and roll them back just to continue to increase that fluidity inside your shoulder and back. Right? And then so from here, we're going to get the stretch for your shoulders, pulling it across your chest. Relax that shoulder, breathe into the position. Once again, big inhale through your nose. Exhale and pull it in towards your chest to get a deeper stretch. Go ahead and switch it up. Once again, a big inhale as you get ready to load, and exhale, pulling it in towards your chest. Yes, good. And so next, we're going to get that stretch for your torso and your hips. So if you can stand up, if you don't prefer to stand up, that's okay. But what I would like for you to do is just kind of go into a little torso twist. This is just to open up those rotators of your spine. Once again, you can do this in the seated position or in the standing position. And the next one, final one, you're going to separate your feet and just roll the torso in a circle, just moving, getting that stretch on the inner thigh, the front of your groin, the hamstrings as you push those hips forward, backwards, and side to side, going in one direction. And go ahead and take it in the opposite direction. Perfect. All right, so I believe that we have got our blood flowing. And so let's make sure that we take it on to the next item on today's agenda, which is the nutrition code. Right? So the nutrition code, just like what we talked about, has a lot of important aspects of our health outside of activity. And if anything, your nutrition should be one of the most important things that you improve within your health. If you don't have that set, if you don't have that habit set where you're having some form of healthy eating, today is the day that you're going to change it. So starting off, today we're going to just be strictly talking about the macronutrients, which are proteins, carbs, fats, and another important one that a lot of people forget, water. I'll admit, even sometimes I forget about water. We're not all perfect, but you have to maintain a steady balance of all 4 of these important macronutrients. Men need to have 1 gallon of water each day, and women need to have at least 75% of that. So obviously, as you can see on the image, that's 1 full gallon. You can get the gallon from anywhere. Obviously, Good Foods Market has that gallon water. But women, you do not have to stress yourself over drinking a whole gallon of water. Just drink 75% of it, and you will be well within that range. Another important item to focus on when it comes to your water intake is when you're drinking it, all right? It's specific to your activity. Make sure that you are drinking at least 2 hours before you do your activity, making sure regardless if it's hot outside or if it's snowing outside and you want to go in the rain, if you want to go run in the snow, all right? You need to make sure that you are improving your body's water intake 2 hours before the workout, okay? Then even during the workout, 15 to 20 minutes throughout the workout, check in with yourself. Just like how you check in with yourself on a subjective basis for the intensity of the workout, you need to check in with yourself on how thirsty you are, because your dehydration can have multiple masks and make you feel like you're fine until the end of the workout when you have completely taken all of your water storage out and then you are fatigued, passing out, fainting, potentially throwing up. So make sure that you are properly hydrated before, during, and of course after. It says to have at least, for every pound lost, you should have at least 16 to 24 fluid ounces of water. All right. So making sure that you are still replenishing your body with water after the workout, along with during and before the workout. Carbs are the are built from glucose, which if you are familiar with diabetes, you definitely know that term. But most people don't really know what glucose is. But ultimately, glucose is what our body needs to produce the energy for our muscles to contract and relax and allow us to move throughout the day. On top of that, though, glucose is also very essential for our nerves. And because of that, it is the fastest form of energy because it is our immediate source of energy. We need it before anything else. But that doesn't mean you need to load up on those quick reaction nutrients, which are the carbs. Okay, you need to, just like water, not overdo it, but make sure that you are still including it in your diet. Do not just completely take out carbs because your body will be thrown off and you will not feel the best. Because once again, carbs, glucose is going to improve your nerve action. Nerves are going to improve your mental health. And if you aren't improving the glucose intake, your mental health also might not be as strong as you would like it to be, right? Without proteins, we obviously wouldn't be the human structure that we are today, but also we wouldn't be as healthy as we are today. Other than the most well-known reason why protein is a part of our bodies, it improves our muscles, strength, and recovery. It also will keep us feeling full longer, along with improving our immune health through enzymes and hormones. All right, so making sure that you are improving your protein intake so that your body's immune system can be prepared for whatever sickness, illness is coming your way, making sure that your body has the right and necessary hormones and enzymes to combat those sicknesses. And of course, it keeps us full longer. That's another very important aspect to our diet, to have protein, because it's going to digest in our system slower so that we can feel full longer. Fats are actually the next level of energy. All right, they are our secondary form of body's energy, which is just as important. You need to make sure that you are still improving your fat intake so that your body can switch its energy storage from the carbs to the fats. Another very important aspect that fats play in our body is it supports our cell growth to make sure that our bodies can recover properly. And within our organs, there are fat cells that helps with protecting our organs from when we fall down. All right, it's going to absorb that contact and it keeps our bodies warm. All right, it's going to be that protective sheath or that inner layering to make sure that our body's internal system doesn't overheat or doesn't get too cold. Right? And the other really important aspect is it will absorb the nutrients and important hormones that are needed to be transported to our body for daily performance. The codes of our life, this activity and nutrition code that we just talked about, all complement each other. But just to quickly review, the water intake of our body is extremely important. Just like what we talked about, men should have a gallon of water each day. Women should have 75% of that water intake each day. Our bodies are predominantly made of water. So we should be improving our water intake on a daily basis. Without that, without the right amount of water, our organs will not function properly. We will not feel properly ready for the day to improve upon our daily performance, physically, mentally, making sure that our skin is big for me as well, but hopefully for you. But I've noticed when I am not drinking enough, my skin from my lips to my scalp gets dry. So that tells me enough right there that I need to improve my water intake. So we're going to go a little bit more in depth into some pre-activity nutrition techniques, some post-activity nutrition techniques, and what is an ideal nutrition technique for a long duration activity or your endurance activities. So for pre-activity, it's very important that your body receives quick dissolving carbohydrates. And what I mean by that is something that can get put into your system, you dissolve it, and it gets broken down into the simplest form, which is the glucose, so that the energy can be supplied to our muscle and nerves. Some examples that I love for quick dissolving carbohydrates is white bread with a fruit jelly spread. Those two items right there combined together before I work out or before I do any activity in the morning is going to give me that initial energy. Honestly, it's going to give me just as much energy as some coffee or some caffeinated beverage because once again, glucose is our natural form of energy. So that's what our body is looking for to push throughout the activity. That's what I'm going to provide it with. Another great and easy way of improving your quick dissolving carbohydrates is fruits. Fruits that are high in water, of course, but also fruits that are high in electrolytes. Think of bananas, think of oranges, think of apples as well. Okay, something like this before you perform your workout is going to be fantastic for your body's energy levels. Some post-activity nutrition that I love to incorporate is really focused on quick dissolving protein and carbs. It's actually been stated in a lot of different studies that you should mix your carbs with protein items. So what would that look like? A protein smoothie. Protein smoothies are powderized protein particles that are also mixed in with fruits along with other various items. Fruits, the carbs, and the protein powder, of course, the protein mixed together in one specific beverage is going to provide the necessary amount of energy for your body after the workout, along with the recovery component of making sure that your body is ready to go for the activity. Another great item that I love are protein bars. The Pure Protein is one of my favorite protein bars to have. You can see you get the 20 grams of protein with a small amount of excess sugar. After your workout, it's gonna, one, not make me want to gorge down a whole bunch of nasty, unhealthy food because I'm going to be hungry after I get done lifting or or get done with a long jog throughout the day. But the protein bar is also going to satisfy my body's hunger stage. When you put your body through a stage of chewing, your body's hormones begin to say, all right, let's begin to decrease our hunger state so that we can focus on the dissolving aspect or digesting aspect of what we just chewed down our esophagus into our stomach. So once again, protein smoothies, protein bars are great for post-activity nutrition. Now, I'm not saying this as a meal. This is not necessarily a meal replacement. Utilize this as your post-activity recovery snack, okay? Post-activity recovery snack, making sure that you still have a healthy and balanced meal that has the essential carbs, proteins, and fats, healthy fats for you to move throughout your day and recover properly. Now, for the long duration activity, like we talked about, long duration means endurance or your aerobic activity. You can see in this picture right here that these people are going on hikes. How many people like to go on hikes? I do. I hope you do too. But other aspects of endurance activity can be swimming, going for a jog, just going for a walk up the street to your neighbor or to the grocery store, i.e. Good Foods Market. So making sure that you are improving your body's nutritional component for energy through healthy fats and proteins, right? These items are going to, or these macronutrients are going to not only improve your long duration activity, your endurance, because they're going to dissolve slower, just like what we talked about, the fats are the secondary form of energy. So you need to make sure that your body is going through that level of energy consumption. So what are some ideas of a healthy fat snack? Well, I love avocado fruit smoothies, all right? Avocado is a great healthy fat-based fruit. Interestingly enough, it is a fruit. but you add different components of the healthy fat segment into that smoothie, which will further improve the characteristic of that smoothie, which you can add chia seeds and which have a very healthy fat uh, concentration within them. And then you add milk as a liquid base, any type of milk, whether that's coming from the animal or from the nut or seed that you are drinking from. The milk is going to have a high source of fat, but also a healthy source of fats. Okay. So looking at this video, looking at this picture, you can obviously see there's this healthy avocado smoothie where you have your avocado, but you also have spinach, you have blueberries, you have kiwis. You can add a little protein in there protein powder if you'd like to add on to the protein component of this. Once again, you want some protein for those long duration walks, like you see the ladies are doing on the picture. They need to sustain their bodies if they don't have any snacks with them, so their bodies can maintain that activity. Another great snack that I love to have are boiled eggs. Contrary to popular belief, boiled eggs are very healthy. The whole egg. I'm not talking about the white egg that people strictly want to have for the protein component. I'm talking about the whole egg, the yolk and the egg white. And the yolk is very important, just as important as the protein egg white, because the yolk is going to carry all the essential vitamins and hormones that our body needs to move throughout the day. That's that vitamin B12, those essential vitamins that are going to be very helpful for our body's energy. So once again, boiled eggs, avocado fruit smoothie, those are just examples. I'm not telling you to have this, and of course, please talk it over with your doctor before you go into these types of food items. You need to make sure that you are improving your daily diet along with the activity, with the carbs, proteins, and fats.